Start streaming, button clicked. Is it working? Is it working? Is it work?
Yeah.
I still didn't see it on my YouTube thing.
It's
Oh, now it's there. Good. We good. Is there audio? Yes, there is. Good. Very good. Now we're just waiting for people because someone said start stream noob, so we're going to have to sit here for 5 minutes and press dislike on the video. Everyone watching, press dislike. That is how I know that you're here. Actually, I can't see how many dislikes the video has. Only Luke can.
So like it instead because you can actually see that figure. At YouTube notifications. F3 is no life at Sandport.
I'm gonna. Why can't I like it and dislike it at the same time?
Can we get equal? Is that possible?
Is that
Maybe.
possible? 50-50.
We don't actually want that. We want viewer engagement.
Viewer engagement.
I don't know how you get that, to be fair.
Viewer in. What you need to do is you need to do a poll, and then have as many people click on it, and also the comment section. If you're at the end of this thing, or if you're watching it afterwards, go to the comment section and type some random thing, such as noob. When are we starting?
No. Do you know what you type? You type some random thing. Those exact 3 words. I don't know. Everyone appears to have not appeared.
Everyone appears to have not appeared. Let's just go. Should I ping them to go?
No. Not yet. I'm sending more invites to everyone once again.
Someone in chat said, Yabba dabba doo, where are you? I am at my house. And there's 5 people watching and 3 likes.
I am at my house.
Yes.
Very professional commentary.
Yes, the most professional commentary.
We have someone restarting the game. So once that happens, I say we go for the almighty send it. We're missing Ennis still.
Our championship leader. He was a full 25 points ahead of Harley. And Karl Mack's actually quite close to the top 2, although it is not that far away from a race ban from penalty points.
He's on 11, I think. Get a 12. Yeah. It's only half the season.
Okay, so apparently Duckett is having technical issues.
Give a thumbs up to that one.
How about we just start the race anyway and give an unexplained absence or whatever they're called to... Oh, I can't buy PS Plus, give me...
You can't buy PS Plus.
What is that?
What sort of issue is that you have?
Wait, do you have to pay money to join an online lobby on PlayStation?
Yes.
What?
£60 or something, I think, a year.
£60 a year so you can play online.
So, Arjun's not here.
After how many years of that until you can buy a 4080?
Or how many years of it until you can just buy a PC?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that now that AMD and Nvidia are no longer able to extort crypto miners for the graphics cards, you can actually build a PC that over the lifespan of the PlayStation will cost less because you don't have to pay that stupid 60 a year to Sony or whatever. And you can also run whatever software you want.
True.
Do you have to pay money to play online on the Xbox?
I think so. Xbox Live.
That makes the Xbox even less good because, like, there's reasons to buy a PlayStation instead of a PC. You don't get those with the Xbox. It doesn't have a fancy SSD.
Mike's back online, so as soon as he's in, I say, just send it.
I've done a lot of rambling about the Xbox.
Okay, now Zolf's booting up actually, so we'll wait for Zolf to boot up.
What's the maximum amount of delay we can have? I'm checking.
10 minutes for technical issues, and technically one of our driver, it has literally said technical issues. So I mean, we can wait till 10 past. We're at 10 past. We get going.
1.3, the restart can be delayed for up to 5 minutes in the event of a driver's facing technical issues.
Up to 5. Well, the normal start time is 5 past by latest. So, that means 10 past. Because, let's be honest, no lobby ever starts on time, ever. That's never happened in the history of
the debut driver race that I manage, I started at 2 past because I was like, nope, I'm starting qualifying, join mid-quali. That is how I run it.
I'm probably going to be disappearing during qualifying for 2 minutes.
Okay.
Zolf's online, and Mike's in. So, yeah.
Also, there's a rule that says the race must start by 10 minutes after the initial race start time, unless in the event of a lobby issue.
Well, there's no lobby issues, so we're going by 10 past.
And also, are there 10 drivers in the lobby?
Oh, we have 40.
Good.
We have 15.
Ooh, gooder. Mitch has just said the funniest thing in the Discord chat.
It'll be a treat for when I DNF. Thanks, Mitch.
YouTube chat. What will be his treat when he DNFs? Guess.
Look at his showing in there. Okay.
Yeah, YouTube chat, you need to guess that. First correct answer gets 1 point in case there's like we do safety car quizzes.
I don't know if I have David Ducker added. I should do. Do I?
Please don't lobby issue me. 9 pass on my computer, however Windows likes to desynchronize the clocks. So I'm going to have to resynchronize the clock to make sure that it's not just Windows. I have now synchronized my clock and it is... A few seconds ago it was 17 seconds past 9 past. Well, Duck has 30 seconds to get back in. I don't like how you need to have the lobby host added to join a crossplay lobby, and you can't just join off random. Do you want to know one solution for this?
What?
Set it to an open lobby, and then kick out anyone you don't want in. We should try that next week.
Alright, I've got a friend request. I'll give a quick tick, confirm.
And then you need to send an invite and hope you have less than 120
Okay,
friends.
there you go. I've sent the invite. And that invite should have come through, and we should pretty much be spot on and ready. This has taken a long time, this
I'll
delay.
do the ping.
Okay, yep, we're good.
We're good, okay. Ping given.
Yep. Just tell him.
And
Just
now...
whatever car, tell him to jump in it. I'll be right back.
Okay. Oh, why have I been pinged? Wait, it's this one. No, or this one. Now that I'll go and rectify my issues. Oh, why someone replied to me to say okay? And then I also need to get the standings up. Yes, we can start, Kyle. Okay. You're loading in. What, Mitch? Stop pinging me! You know I keep complaining about the pings. Actually... Oh, it's raining. Wet qualifying. Ooh, interesting. Spicy. Now the clock timer's doing a thing. I'm just looking at the people standing on top of the paddock, and their heads look a bit low polygon. Yes, you have a chance. With your with your launch control or whatever. You always have a chance with that. Yeah, we're just waiting. Yeah. The session hasn't started. The timer says it hasn't. Bugs, hashtag... Yeah, hashtag bugs or whatever. It's really taking its time. Mitch is hoping for a wet race, I'm not... Okay, now it started. Let's go. Who will be first on track? Who will be first?
Hello.
Hello.
I'm back nearly on time. I missed it 20 seconds and I open my door and I see this. Like...
No one's driving out of the garage. I think they... Now someone has.
Oh, it's
one
a
of
Ferrari.
The Ferraris.
Is it? I think it's Sam. I don't know who it is actually.
I think it's Sam.
It's Inters, okay.
Yeah, it's Inters right now, and people are complaining about the rain, but it's the same raininess for everyone, so if you're complaining about it, that's just because you have skill issue in the wet.
Okay. Sam's going to be the first to do a lap then, so you know what, he gets the luxury of, we'll go on board with you.
Yeah, but he took first gear through that super bank corner, which I would take in fourth gear probably.
Yeah.
A different method. Gets you more rotation but less stability.
Oh wait, the race is wet and dry. So it's changing conditions.
Nice.
Ooh.
Will someone jack up the tyre pressures so that they're fast in the wet and then need to box for hards in the dry and be a second lap slow and just dropping back like a stone?
I like this idea. I very much like this.
I very do much like changing conditions, because unlike real life, the entire track dries out, not just the racing line.
So, on board with Sam Hussein then, coming around the final corner, obviously banked, and now on the short run to the start finish line. Can you remember how long it was? I don't know.
I think it was like a bit over a kilometre from the exit from apex to apex.
Braking at about 75 metres, having a massive snap in turn one, but he's going to keep this one going. Sweeping it through the right, then diving down into the left for another bank corner here, as obviously the reprofile of the track that occurred just before it came onto the F1 calendar changed it quite significantly. It seems like Sam's just struggling a little bit to get used to the conditions, heading up into Sector 2 now, and drops it to 4th. And just you have to try and keep the minimum speed up through that corner, and then chuck it into the right, carrying as much speed again. Braking normally at about 50 metres there in the dry, and it was just before that there on the intermediate conditions. Then just after the 50 metres you want to hook it around this left. It's quite a tight, twisty, tricky section of the track as Sam heads now into the final sector, where you normally brake at just after 100 metres, and it seems quite similar here in the intermediate conditions as well. The braking points don't change that much at this track, it seems. And yeah, I guess it makes sense. The corners aren't exactly where you'll be carrying a lot of speed in as whoo.
And maybe they've waxed on 50-50 with the wetness.
I think that would be potentially a good idea. As Sam does a 25.6 and David goes 4 seconds quicker.
A pretty decent improvement.
Well, who are we looking out for today? We know there was quite a few drivers who performed a lot better in the wet. One being Mitch, who is flat out to the line, 21.8. He didn't even use battery.
Oh, is he doing multiple laps then?
I don't know, but a 21.8 without battery sounds decent.
But right now...
Callum, P2.
And there's also a Haas who's also on a lap behind him, who's just been able to get past Mitch, so I think Mitch might have let him through there. But as Philip comes through Schreivlach, carrying a decent amount of minimum speed now into the much slower middle sector, carrying good speed into the corners, no lockups, and no wheel spin so far, as
Lowry goes fastest with a 21.1. I wonder who would be the first driver to break into the 20s. Interesting order compared to what we're used to. Harley jumps to P5. And it seems like the 21s is where you're going to be at the moment.
yeah.
Can anyone beat that?
As-
Lucas Rod goes fourth as Philip has binned it.
Yeah, that is not good when you bin it. And he hasn't got a time on the board, so we'll be starting from the back, basically. As we ride him, I think this is Duck.
Yeah, Duckett.
Let's just call this guy a Duck. So we'll probably be doing quite well in the rain. Because everyone's been calling him Duck in chat and whatever. So it's your fault. Okay. You know that was Discord chat, not YouTube chat.
Yeah.
David Ducker. It's a nice name.
Yeah.
And it's a nice lap to the 21.5.
Everyone is really close. We've got how many drivers there within like 2.5 tenths? 5? 6?
Yeah.
6 drivers. Yeah, this is a pretty close grid.
Is anyone on a push lap?
Hopefully Ennis isn't going to turn up and go and drop like a 20.4 now or something. As I see it, I think Adam Lopage is here. As he comes around the final corner, almost hits the wall. Interesting, but he goes P3. As Lucas right behind goes to a 21.1, choosing to do multiple laps, and he's getting quicker every lap as those into start to settle in more and more. And so Williams 1-2 at the moment.
Ennis has just started the lap and he's coming out of turn 1 of Tarzan and is now David.
Okay,
That's
David.
a quick lap. I think he's quite good in the wet because a lot of the time he's lapped on a bunch of wing, which vastly improves your lap time in the wet.
Yeah.
And I suspect that 50-50 is the fastest way in the wet. As Ennis bins it!
Ennis! Oh my. He's lucky to not be out there.
Yeah.
Very lucky.
And he's got enough fuel to go for another lap, but I'm not sure about the front wing, which is not ready for another lap, I would say.
Here comes Mike Atherton to the line next. His first lap of this session, and just on a 23.0 for now, just outside the 22s, which is where most people were setting. But there's a few people setting bankers on a 22, then getting into the 21s after, so...
We're doing a bank in the 25s, and then setting a 22-1.
And then doing a 22-1, yeah. Yeah, I'm on my inviting duties.
That's a you problem, not a me problem, which is amazing.
Yeah, because it crashes my game sometimes. Which hasn't happened in the last few rains, so I'm not going to curse it.
As I've gotten another ping on Discord, but I don't think this one was from GRS. So I can't complain too much, as Mike Atherton's gone a bit wide in L corner, but I can hear the traction control. And then he comes out, it's a nice clean exit thanks to the engine cutting out about 100 hertz or something. I'm not sure.
6 tenths off. So if he's got more time in the final sector.
Yeah. Just making
Then he
his
could be
way
just
through,
off the.
through the end of it now. And this corner, unlike the dry, is an actual corner. So you
Yeah.
can actually lose and gain time. As it's a-
22-1.
So
I sort of cut you off with saying that.
yeah,
Sorry.
22 ones. Everyone likes doing 22 ones after doing a slow banker. But it's only 2 people, so not that many. I think.
As I've seen,
Arrival-
Harley jumped into the 20s as well.
I'm on board with Bradshaw, who's making his way through turn 1 and is probably hoping to not bin.
Oh, Adam. Not Bradshaw, but the other one.
Yeah,
Has just drove into a wall.
I need to see. Actually, I
He hasn't
can't
got
see.
damage, but yeah. Anyways, I'm on board with Bradshaw as well now. As David Hoy is just taking the mick at this point. But Adam Bradshaw's got a purple sector 1, and he is taking these corners very nicely.
I would agree.
Yes.
Although he might be a bit assisted by the traction control, but I probably should stop
Complaining about that.
complaining about it. Because at least they're not spinning. And I'll be talking about their skill issue or whatever. It does seem a bit odd that someone is full throttle in 3rd gear in the images.
Something we're not used to seeing.
Yeah. I know it's probably not hacked because I can hear traction control. As
And
the
he's also on the
Mercedes
PlayStation as oh,
crosses-
okay! 19999.
Nice traction hacks. They seem to be working.
Nice time. To be fair, I like the emphasis on the 9s
Yeah.
as Adam jumps to 4th. And yeah, big lap from Adam Bradshaw, I will say.
Big lap as well from the ECU with the spin preventions. I'm just being mean at this point.
Yeah, you just sound like a very toxic assistator. As Callum Pearce jumps to 4th. He is newly on a wheel now, actually. So we'll see how he does on the wheel.
I'm watching Ennis going through the middle sector now. It's not as clean as his teammate, but it's not horrific. And he hasn't binned it into a wall yet, which is a good sign.
Do you want to emphasise the yet or not?
When he went on that curve, I would like to emphasise the yes.
57-0 middle sector. I think that's 1.2 down on his teammate.
That is not
So-
ideal.
Bradshaw's done an absolute storming lap. As I'm getting pinged, but Discord on my phone doesn't work, so I cannot respond to the pings. I also don't want to tab off,
Amazing, not amazing.
since I'm a lobby host. As Ennis goes P9.
It's a very tight grid. All the
Yeah.
way from Harley Davidson to
Down
Mitch
to
Nate.
Mitch.
It's
Is 6.5 temps.
yeah, 6.5 tenths, and then it's over a second from Callum to P1, or from Harley to P1. I meant. Someone wants
Yeah,
me to
it's-
go on board with David Duckett, who is currently 2 tenths up, and is going through the middle sector. And those 2 tenths could be critical given how close the middle of the grid is today.
Yeah. Someone's jumped up. I think that's Kyle, who's
Kyle's-
gone to P3.
Pulse the bunch of them. But isn't challenging David or other David or not the Lapage Adam for the moment.
We have a lot of people with similar names as Lucas Rugg goes a 20.3 for 3rd. Sam's also retired on the main straight.
We lose the back end.
Oh
coming out.
my!
Probably lost the back end coming out.
That's
of the
one way to
corner.
bin it.
Yeah.
As David Duck at 3 tenths only jumps him up, what, 3 places?
Another
Yeah,
3
that's-
tenths would be
That's really close.
enough for P4.
Lowry jumps up to P4, speaking of. And Williams are back up to just outside the podium places at the moment.
3rd and 4th.
As Marcus Carlos goes up to 12th, improves by, I think, a second, and went up 3 places. But if he improved by another second, he'd go all the way to 4th.
This is a tight grid.
This whole thing's just, can you improve by those crucial seconds? My Discord on my phone has started working, which is good, I guess, maybe.
You do riding board with.
Is David on a lap, or I think he's just
I think
starting?
he's, just starting now.
Larry's improving again in the Williams.
Well, riding board with David to see what his driving style is like. And he's using 5th gear, and I don't hear any traction control. But he loses the battery there, but that's just some extra rotation.
Larry improves by half a tenth, but that doesn't improve his position. David's a tenth and a half off. He has hit the grass there a bit.
Not ideal for lap time. And then the curbs here can be a bit not friendly, and he's flirting with them quite a lot.
He keeps kicking his back end out, which seems like an effective strategy, because the medium traction then allows him to get the power down. Yeah.
Backed off.
Oh. I assume that was the slide, and also potentially the bit of the tight line.
I think he might be trying to... Is he doing the... Oh, you need to switch between neutral and first to recharge your battery. He only partially knows the battery trick, which is a shame.
Alright, well, he's going again, and there's quite a few people going again. Speaking of, Adam Bradshaw is improving by 11 thousandths.
It's been a very similar lap so far.
He's now improving by 3.5 tenths.
Ooh. That's a much big improvement.
What time is he going to be able to set here? As David Duckett goes up to P4 in the Ferrari. Nice lap for him.
And he's gone deep in turn 1 after setting the lap.
As Adam Bradshaw goes quick at a 19.5.
That's quite quick. And David's going to get the pop-up on his screen saying fastest lap 19.5.
Yeah. And he's again trying to regen the battery.
And he doesn't know the trick properly. That is a shame.
He needs to put less throttle on in neutral as well.
Yeah, and then switch between neutral and first.
Mitch is 2 tenths up.
Only when we're commentating you hear all of the game's exploits. But we'll go on board with Mitch because David's just failing to recharge his battery.
How is Mitch getting on at improving his lap time though?
He's gotten a strong exit out of the corner.
Oh, that's a big amount of time saved. Almost a second up. That would jump him to the top 5, as I've just realised Adam beat Lowry by 1,000th.
This has been a tight session.
As Mitch, actually quite smartly I'd say, more people have been lifted off the throttle mid-corner, whereas Mitch lifted off just before going through, and it's a 6.44 just behind Adam and Lowry.
Another 10th would jump him ahead of Ducker.
Oh, David Toy, he's improving, but he's gone. And I think that's his
quali over.
Yeah. Lucas Rudd's improving. Almost 2 tenths.
He'd
have to find a lot of time.
We're going board with Rudd now. It's a pretty clean final corner. Crosses the line. And it's
20.1 P2. Good time.
Will Harley Davidson be able to compete with that? His battery's running a bit low, but the battery isn't too important in the...
Just saying, look at P6 to P8.
That's quite close.
Ennis to the line, P6. And, well, just look at P5 to P10, actually.
Yeah. Mitch
Half a
needed
tenth.
that extra 10.
Half a tenth from 5th to 10th. Nice. That is very close in the midfield.
Yeah.
And with changeable conditions in the race, this is going to be a good one, I think.
Yeah.
It's
Just
Adam
got
Bradshaw.
one driver to cross the line and then we'll be done.
In a grid where everyone's so close, Adam Bradshaw has put 6 tenths between himself and the next car at the front, ironically.
That's a lot of quali pace.
So, how do we think this one's going to go then? It could be very interesting, I think. As
Mitch has
well,
already
the
used
qualifying
3
would
sets of
suggest it.
inters.
19.5 is not PC3 quality, get him in tier 2.
Well, Ennis won tier 2 at Singapore. Maybe he's just very quick at Wet Zandvoort. Just like Ennis is always quick at Singapore, whatever.
Everyone has their tracks where they are, or where they excel in performance, I will say.
For me, it
seems
was
so
last
far.
year's game Jeddah. This year's game Jeddah, I'm good, but not as good.
For me, last year it was Jeddah, this year it's Jeddah. Next year it'll probably be Jeddah. And for as long as Jeddah exists, it'll be Jeddah.
For me, I tend to be quite quick at Austria as well.
Oh, here we go. Oh, the race starts wet. Oh, I feel like there could be some carnage, which I don't think you're looking forward to. Actually, you've had stewarding nice the last few weeks, so
Yeah.
1 week with a bit more chaos isn't going to hurt, I don't think.
I think
Although
that's intermediates, not full wet.
Although education's restarting in the UK, so yeah, sad. As Sam's disconnected, and we're
We
gonna have to
haven't
get an
had this
invite
for
back.
2
to him.
weeks.
I just got removed.
And now
Our
he
new
pings
build.
you.
Yeah. I can't really do anything while we're on a waiting. Actually, I can do something. It said lobby not filled or something. Well, I've sent an invite. So stress levels should drop on that. Anyways, we have 5 seconds. Oh, and his game's crashed. Oh no. As we are now going to the grid. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights here. And away we go as there's 2 jump starts for Larry and Callum, as Callum's already going straight through the middle of
And it's
everyone.
been a terrible
there's a
start
Ferrari.
for Bradshaw.
Yeah, Bradshaw's dropped all the way to 5th. There's a bit of contact in turn 1, and everyone's just trying to make their way through here as
and there's
Lucas
another
wins
crash
this
involving
race.
a McLaren and I think Ennis as well. And they both lost a bunch
There's
of
contact there as well. It's a Mercedes and a Ferrari as Mitch goes straight through the middle of both of them and he's been taken out. And what the hell has just
And there's a
happened
lot
there?
of flying front wings.
There's already a 3-second gap up to the front 3. And so what have I just witnessed?
I don't know, but Bradshaw is in 10th. What a great qualifying conversion.
Mitch was all the way up to 4th and then is now 14th.
This is odd.
He's already gone up 6 and then down 10. And now he's trying to overtake ghost cars. And now I'm inviting Sam Hussein. Anyways.
And the
you can
virtual
continue.
safety car's in. That was a relatively short VSC. But right now, there is a battle for the lead between Lucas Rudd and Harley Davidson, who are currently positions 1 and 2, and David Hoy is not too far behind. these two, as all of these three are well ahead of the chasing pack, which will give them comfort, as Lucas runs a bit deep into turn 1 but appears to have not lost much time to the corner, as a bunch of people are into the pit lane, as Mitch has probably not realised it's a 60km/h pit lane and has sped into it and has earned a 5-second time penalty, which will be served at the next pit stop, unless he's taking these inters to the end. And everyone has gone for inters.
Adam seems to be struggling a lot in the Aston. He doesn't appear to have any
which
damage.
Adam? They're both
The
right
Aston.
next to each other.
This doesn't help. Anyways, Lapage is struggling, it seems, at the moment. He's got 2 cars on his tail, as there's a mistake from Mike there, which allows Sam up into P10. As Adam Bradshaw also moves up to P7, as there's yellow flags. That is Mitch. And yeah, not ideal, as I'm being spam pinged by someone.
I am also being spam pinged by someone. I don't have permissions to ban people and stuff in the Discord. And I'm also streaming, and I'm going to show you Kyle Mack, who is right now chasing
Oh, I've just heard a
Ennis.
crash, I think. No, I haven't.
Crunch of wing, maybe, on a wall.
As I know Hugo's watching, if you can check what's going on Discord for me, please, that would be ideal. As,
Moderators, help me, please. I need moderator.
Anyways, we got Carl Mack. Well, actually, it goes Alfa Romeo Mercedes right now for 4th to 7th.
Bradshaw's gained back a few positions after the mare of lap 1 and seems to still have a wing.
I don't know how he survived. I can't lie.
Oh, apparently Mitch was tapped from behind, and he's also texting whilst driving, apparently. What? How did he get another penalty? He was below the limit or something.
And has he crashed on pit entry?
No.
Oh,
I do not understand. He's retired in the pit. We'll go on board with Kyle, who is right behind Ennis, going out of the final corner. As they go around the banking, Lucas Fudd has set the fastest lap again and is looking to pull away.
Here comes
Ennis
Kyle.
defends the inside, and Kyle's going to try and go around the outside. As it's very tight between the two drivers, but it seems like Kyle has been able to make it around the outside of Ennis, although they are side by side going through turn 2. And there's a slight wheel bang, but they seem to have gotten away with it, and I think Kyle will be able to stay ahead of Ennis unless the Mercedes gets the switchback of dreams, which seems to possibly be the case, although I think Kyle will have the position.
Oh, Ennis! Oh, Ennis! Don't let your teammate! Oh, he's hit the front wing off. That was close. As Mitch, you need to calm down, mate. And Ennis has...
You can fill in a reports thing and ping me in it, and I will cry about being pinged. And then I might be able to do... I won't be able to do anything about it mid-race.
I'm gonna keep the tyre thing open for myself, just so I sort of know.
Whether anyone's boxed or whatever.
Yeah, because I can't lie, sometimes I forget to pay attention. Which is a bad thing, considering I'm a commentator and I'm meant to pay attention.
What's the gap between Bradshaw and Rudd? It is 8.7 seconds, so will our pole sitter be able to close in to those ahead? As he's dumping the battery to gradually close in to Kyle on the straights, which I'm not sure is the best use of the battery. I'd assume you want to use it to try and do the overtake. As Mitch is being clever, not pinging me mid-race. Unlike this guy in the ACC chat. Moderator, please help me.
Anyways. Oh, there's been a yellow flag. That's a Haas. I think that's Philly. I want to say, yeah.
He's lost a wing.
Bradshaw is still chasing down Carmack. And, well, it's not ideal for Kyle. He's probably wanting to just drive off, but Bradshaw's reeled him back in, so he's got another fight with another Mercedes here.
Yeah.
As our championship leader's then 15th.
Not ideal, but he has got a 25-point buff, which is a full race win worth of points. As Lucas Rudd does a 22.6 to extend the gap out in front. And it seems like Bradshaw is running quite a bit of wing, and his lap time is a 23.0, so he's losing 4/10 a lap to Lucas, as he's almost pushing Kyle through the corner, but no spin or contact.
There's yellow flags again. There's two sets of yellow flags. One of them's Harley. Harley's gone round in the Aston, and I think that's Philip as well on the other side of the track, and he's rejoining onto the track right next to these two, as he's also mented that curb, and he's all over the place, but he's managed to keep it in a straight line. I don't think he's got damage either.
Not ideal for Harley, who's right now P2 in the standings. Right,
He needed this to close in on Ennis now, and, well, that's not ideal for him to have spun when he was third in the race, I think. I don't know. Was he third or second? He might have been second, actually.
Yeah, I think it was P2 ahead of David Hoy, as Bradshaw tries to go around the outside of Kyle, however the room just simply is not there. And now going into what in the dry is the final real corner, but not so much in the wet, as Bradshaw is out of battery, so I think he might get a bit stuck behind the Alfa Romeo in the next laps.
Oh, Callum's also got damage, I've just seen at the back, and he sort of just moved over to let the Ferrari free there.
Probably the most sensible thing to do.
Yeah. Definitely is.
Because right now, Bradshaw is still harassing the back of Kyle, and Kyle has the battery, which the Mercedes does not. However, the Mercedes seems to be a lot quicker at the moment, and even sets the purple first sectors. How do you get track limits at Zandvoort? Although he's in the pit lane now.
Callum had damage.
Yeah, but
actually, no, he might have got a glitch because there's a pit entry glitch.
Oh, is it like Abu Dhabi?
Yeah. So that can be removed. I also tested a theory of taking the. Have you seen that guy from NASCAR who just drove into the wall and overtook everyone?
Oh, the wall ride.
Yeah, I did that on the pit exit of Zandvoort, and while it worked and I gained positions, I also got 6 seconds of penalties.
I didn't know.
So maybe I wouldn't recommend wall riding. As someone who is wall riding, it's Carl Mack, and a bit of a tap on the wall there, and that's going to allow Adam Bradshaw to try a move here. But again, he's just not close enough. And
if he saved the battery and dumped it this straight, I think he would have gotten past. But he used it for opportunities that
don't try the inside there. Oh my!
As his nose is inside the diffuser of the Alfa Romeo, but no touches as of yet.
We're only 8 laps into this race. It feels like we've been going a bit longer than that, I can't lie.
Yeah. Right now we're just watching 2 cars follow each other. We'll actually ride on board. Gives us a slightly different perspective. And I can just hear the traction control.
Lapage is also on the back of Marcus Carlos. And I think Lapage will probably...
He saved the battery, unlike someone else. And
someone
also,
else who's saved a good amount of batteries, David Hoy, but Lucas Rudd's also got some. But David has reeled Lucas in a bit.
Yeah, he's closed in about a second over the past lap or two.
Maybe a mistake from Lucas, or David is up in his pace, so
apparently
maybe David just
Philip in P15 has been trying no traction control, and it hasn't been going too well so far for him.
Well,
Right now,
No
Layford
traction
is
is
going to
quite a
try
big
and
one
send
to
it
learn.
on Marcus. And I think he might have made it work, as Marcus runs very deep in the corner, and I think that will allow the Aston Martin to get through up into P7, as there's yellow flags further back, as Mike Averton has had a spin and seems to have recovered from it now. But we'll go back on board with Bradshaw, who is still stuck behind the Alfa Romeo, who gets a poor run through Schreivlach, but is unable to get past in this very slow and snaily middle sector.
Oh, he's pushed him! Oh.
Oh, he might need to give the position back or get a penalty. That is going to be a tough one to make.
Depends if Kyle was braking or lifting mid-corner, really.
Although he didn't seem to be going too slowly.
Yeah, it wasn't going quite that slowly, so I don't think he did. If he did just slam on his brakes because the rain stopped.
Rain has stopped. And Dave...
It's still in sector 3 a little bit here.
Rain is still falling here. As
There's a bit of rain, but it's not like... It's pretty much stopped, essentially.
Yeah.
So it's going to be dry in a few laps' time.
Will they go for the mediums or the hards?
As the sun's already out, so I have a feeling it's going to dry up quite quick. As the sky just got really light out of nowhere.
Mediums or hards? That is a difficult question.
Hards do about like 20 laps before they're dead.
Well, it's
you can
C1s
probably extend
here,
24
and the
or 25.
C1s, they're good. They're very good until they hit 60, and then they start to slowly go off. And they hit 75 and then puncture territory, but they still feel fine. The mediums are much less durable, though. It also depends what pressures they're running, because in the wet you jack up the pressures and that improves the tyre wear on the slicks as well.
I'm still seeing the occasional drop of rain here.
But the one issue with hards is going to be the warm-up, which will be horrendous.
Yeah. I think if it dries up quickly, you want hards. If it doesn't, you want mediums.
Well, I'm not sure if mediums make it to the end. I haven't got any data for this track. However, because this game is so boring, it's probably going to be exactly like Suzuka and Silverstone, which are some other tracks with the same slick compounds. As Bradshaw has been able to get past Kyle Mack when we were following... Oh wait, he got past... We were watching him when he got past...
Yeah.
Me silly. And then he sets the fastest lap. But he might be getting a penalty for that bump to pass, if it is reported. And he also might get a penalty for the... from my ears. That traction control.
Why does the track look dry in some places, but in other places it's just still
I don't know.
really wet?
I'll go on board with Harley Davidson, who's putting on a bunch of lock in the steering wheel in his pursuit of Kyle Mack. Harley seems to be a traction control user.
I like how this is your analysis for this race. Who uses traction, who doesn't.
Full throttle in third gear, or second gear, that's... Is that medium, because... I could swear you can't do that on medium traction control. With that throttle, but it doesn't sound like full traction control. This is so confusing. We have a yellow flag as I think Lucas Rudd is found.
Oh, he is, yeah.
And the race leader has spun, and that will allow David Hoy to take the race lead.
We definitely noticed that straight away. Oh gosh. Anyways, he's now under pressure from Darius in the Alfa Romeo, who is just avoiding the carnage, driving his own race. And I tell you something, if you just do that, that's how you get a good result.
Yeah. Oh, I hear the traction control. Just allow the computer to stop you spinning and then you're good. As Leafwich has been able to dispatch of Harley's had a spin. He's doing donuts. I'm not sure that's what you want to do. And he's down to P10 now. And his rears are 94 for the rear left. As Callum...
Oh, Callum's crashed. Oh, he's completely been that. That's the safety car.
Who is it that was... I guess we're riding with Kyle to see the wreckage. And I guess you have to pit for slicks.
Oh, that's the drive-through.
You have to pit for slicks. Or you have to stay out for inters.
Adam's gone in. Marcus got... Everyone else seems to be committed to staying out.
If it dries out, you're screwed if you don't box. But I've had races where the track just simply... Where, like, stopped raining halfway through the race. And it
Harley's also got a drive-through.
With a full...
That's 2 drive-throughs.
They've just gone for mediums, which, although they will be a lot nicer now than the hards, like a lot nicer, I don't think they'll make it. Mike Haverson's gone for hards. Let's ride on board.
With David or to see if he pits. I don't know.
No, ride on board with Mike to see whether it is sketchy AF or even sketchier than sketchy. It's a very cautious pit.
That was on the line then. That was you had to be careful there.
Why has he got the battery on?
Catch up to the safety.
He went full throttle in 3rd gear.
It's a bit. I think it's sketchy AF. I can't lie.
I think he's gonna hope that the safety car's out for 3 laps or something.
Probably.
Is David in? No. Is Lucas in? No. But Darius is in. But sped in the pit lane. Was it just me, or was he going normal speed into the pit lane? The pit limiter broken.
It's this game. Would you be surprised?
I don't get it.
Everyone else seems to be staying out.
Yeah.
And the 2 have gone for hards. Harley's coming in. Adam is struggling to get it round the track.
And Harley's going well below the speed limit to avoid getting a penalty.
David is stuck behind Adam, who's having to go slowly to not die. But David's coming himself, so...
I guess Jeff Mark is saying it's time for slicks.
Jeff Mark. Jeff.
That's what I've started calling him.
I mean, it's the same person, just not the same person.
Yeah. We gave Jeff a voice transplant. As right now, Darius is really struggling on the hards. You can see the understeer. And on the steering wheel, you can see the lack of tyre temps. As the half, or Philip, is struggling even more, but I think he's got to give the position back.
Yeah.
And then
I think he's letting
if he overtakes
people...
before...
I don't know.
I don't know. Oh, he has to let him back.
This allows Adam Bradshaw's of it, as the Mercedes team just ran out the quickest I've ever seen them.
That is a genius strategy to pit this lap, because he was like P5 or P6 when the safety car came out. Everyone behind him boxed. He was going faster behind the safety car than if he was on slicks. And now he's boxed. He's on the newest tyres. He does the warm-up on the driest track.
Is the safety car going to be forced in this lap when no one's caught it?
I think this is the 2nd lap.
Is it the 2nd one? So 1 more lap. How many people are going to catch it?
You can hear the traction control working overdrive.
Okay.
I should stop insulting the traction control.
The track looked like it was drying, then it didn't, and now it's not dry. As Harley's binned it.
He went deep in turn 1 on the mini-map.
Oh, he's got all the way up there.
Lowry's boxed back for Inters, which might be the correct choice. I'm not sure though.
I think he slammed it straight all the way up there. The brake pedal has definitely
As
malfunctioned.
David Duckett has lost his wing on pit exit.
These conditions are awful.
But Bradshaw is very slowly closing up to the back of the safety car, and I do
The safety car's also catching Guinness.
And I do mean very slowly, because the gap was about 15 seconds at the start, now it's 8 seconds or something.
This is the most fascinating thing I think I've ever seen under a safety car. 2 people have caught it, and David's now failing to keep up to it. Okay, in the corners he does, but like, I don't know how to explain what is going on.
I think Bradshaw's slicks have maybe half switched on, although maybe it's partly because they're on 70-degree C1s. If I'm being honest, warm C5s would probably be at least 5 seconds a lap quicker.
This is a very
what's
fascinating.
Happened to David?
Oh,
he binned it. I'm looking back.
And he's
at
on the Inters.
That was a bit silly. Has he got a wing? Yes, but
Adam Bradshaw's up to second.
he was P7.
So for 8 seconds for nothing. Yeah, we don't worry. We know about the penalties. You can appeal them because there's a glitch on pit entry, and there's also a glitch with the timing. It seems as well, or with the speed limiter. So yeah, you're 8 seconds can be appealed.
You went from like P5 or P6, boxed. You boxed a lap later. That is probably normally you want to box the first lap it comes out. Except
it's in this lap.
Yes, I think this is the 3rd lap of the safety car, but by boxing not the first lap under the safety car, Bradshaw has overtaken a bunch of people.
What is happening?
Such an
No, I wonder what the tyres are going to be like, because if it's still somewhat wet, then these guys on hards and mediums are just going to get
out a lot.
Drove for it, yeah.
Past half a lap.
Which is unlucky for the likes of Lucas and whatever, as Lucas is taking a quick restart here. And he's already going,
and
yeah.
David's in the pits.
Yeah, some of the Inter runners are coming in there, so it is dry.
Yeah,
Lucas has now got to defend.
And the slicks have switched on, and now he's back into the pits for some slicks, I assume.
Yep. And, well, now we have the dilemma of how much better are they, as Adam Bradshaw's still losing time. He's lost a second.
I think it might be cold tyres, as they're only 78 degrees. And the warm-up on the hards is dreadful. And I think the warm Inters are still working quite well. And Inters on a dry track compared to hards, actually.
Oh, that's a crash! And that's Sam Hussein into the wall, and he's lost an end plate. I thought he was going to be completely out there, I can't lie, but he survives.
Survives another lap. Go on board with Kyle, who is hounding the back of Marcus, who's on the intermediates. And I'm actually surprised by how equal the tyres are, although speaking of equality, I think the Inters are starting to drop off now, as Kyle got a much better exit out of the chicane. And I think he might be able to take this corner flat, which he couldn't do in the Inters, and everyone...
Zolf's going for P1 here. And Lucas has also got a penalty for speeding into the pits.
And Bradshaw's going to try and go around the outside of Darius. But Darius is able to hold on for now, and he makes it very clear that Bradshaw is not going to be going down the inside of this corner, and maintains the position for now.
It's a good race for Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, it is.
This race has changed massively.
Yeah. Remember Ennis, whose championship was screwed? Well, it's still screwed because he's P11 and how many seconds off the leader?
A lot. Oh, he's P10 there.
Oh.
And Sam has been into the pits. He's P11 again. He's gone off track.
Duckett's got past, and then this also has picked up 3 warnings, which, as I said earlier, how do you do that at Zandvoort? Yeah, this
And we know it's not a pit lane one because the pit lane gives you about 14 in one go.
Maybe you got 2 from the pit lane, but DRS is now switched on.
I just want to point something out. Adam Lepage gained about 4 tenths on that straight.
Is he running a dry setup?
I know he's running wings in the 20s.
20s!
He might have upped it a bit for the wet conditions, but on a straight, he might be a bit difficult to defend
The
against.
one question is whether his mediums will last, because I think he was the first to box out of these. So unless he's jacked up the pressures and had, like, I think when I've talked to people, he's the only person who consistently says that they have less tyre wear than I do. Because normally I'm the lowest. So he might be able to make it to the end without another pit stop. And I suspect everyone else is running wings closer to 50 than 40.
Let alone 20s.
wet.
Oh, Carmack's gone!
I don't think Lepage has DRS. Because Darius has set the fastest lap. But he's completely drained his battery to do so. But he has broken out of DRS of Bradshaw, however Bradshaw still has battery. This is actually going to be very interesting. Because I think Darius will struggle without any battery, but
David's on a charge.
yeah. And he's gone for medium, which I think should make it to the end.
Yeah, he's only doing 19 laps on him. That's about half, just over half the
It
race.
won't be great
So
at
that'll be
the
fine.
end.
Oh, there's yellow flags. That's Lucas Rudd, who was once upon a time leading pretty much the whole first half of this race.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for the Williams, it's hit dry conditions and he's now down to 8th. As Ennis is back to 10th.
Good for a championship leader. However, Lepage seems to not have enough downforce at the moment because no DRS for him.
I forgot Ennis is also on a wheel this race. As it's the yellow flags again. This time it's the other Williams of Lowry. As yeah, Ennis has swapped over to a wheel and the sun's starting to actually come
I
out
think
now.
Bradshaw's just running high wings in both Darius and Lepage because Darius was within DRS. That's a scary place to be parked. Because Darius was within DRS at the start of the straight, and then by the end the gap was 1.2 seconds ahead. And I think Bradshaw's carrying a lot more speed through the corners.
We do know Darius
Well,
has
I
got
did-
some dodgy penalties apparently,
I saw
so
a red light from the Alfa Romeo, so I think that might also explain it.
as there's another crash from a Ferrari. And
Bradshaw's within DRS.
there he is. I didn't even see it get enabled.
They
I
got
can't lie.
enabled just like 2 laps ago.
Okay.
However, Darius might have been able to pull out of the DRS. on this
Someone who
section.
might have got in the DRS is Adam Lepage actually.
Ooh. Let's see his wings. Purple final sector.
And he
And
gained about half a second.
Yeah. As there's a Ferrari who's had a spin. But we're not going to ride and ball with that because we've got this battle to watch. However, his wings are not as insane as when someone decided to run 7.4 at Mexico. It was crazy on the 1.4 kilometer straight how quick I was going with 7.4 wings. As
That's yellow flags, so it's David Duckett.
Duckett's are tied in the pits.
I think his tyres were overheating and it's unfortunate for the Ferrari. I mean, think that can definitely happen a lot of the time. So if you sometimes potentially lose your head a little bit after a spin, you can
I think
sometimes
Leipzig
fall
just
into
got
that
back
cycle.
out.
As Mitch is on the case of someone already. Great. Anyways, Lucas Rudd going for a move on his teammate, and now into turn one. Turn one? What am I on about?
Yellow flag,
Into
because
turn one.
Ferrari has spun.
This time
Typical
it's Sam
Ferrari.
Hussein. Is this just a thing for today? As Adam Bradshaw's caught back up to Darius.
Oh, yeah. Has that been a mistake from the Alpha Mode? He's taking a really funny line through right lap. I've noticed. Or is that just a confusion tactic? Or an intimidation tactic? As Bradshaw's now within DRS again. And I don't see any flashing lights on the back of the Alfa Romeo. So maybe he's been able to save a bit. And now we go through the final corner. And Bradshaw is within DRS.
Leipzig is also
and
within
Leipzig is
DRS.
also within DRS.
This should hopefully drag them all
As
closer.
I see a flashing light.
I think Darius is running low wings as well.
Yeah.
Darius and Leipzig have...
Leipzig sets the fastest lap.
As
An
Marcus
11 lap
Carlos
on
and
me.
Lucas Rudd are having a fight here for P6 as well.
I should probably switch to interval.
As the Williams are both looking to get past the AlphaTauri. Lowry's now right on the back of Marcus Carlos, who I think we've mentioned more than once this race. He's just been having a quiet race.
Yeah. His race has
And
been
you know
better
what?
than
That's a
Ennis.
good thing, to be fair.
Yeah.
Interestingly, Carl Mack, who spun and dropped, what, like 6 seconds behind, is catching a little bit.
Very slowly, and so is David Hoy, as Marcus Carlos has got some pretty pissful traction and has been overtaken. Yeah. Let's go back to the leaders who are in a DRS train. And we're going to see Bradshaw lose literally 2 tenths despite having DRS, and then Leipzig close up by like a lot. And now they're going to turn one of, I think it's called Tarzan, right?
Yeah, it is.
And now they're heading through whatever this is called. I don't know.
Should I get a track map up and let's have a look at the corner names?
Yeah.
Alright,
Oh,
so...
there's battling ahead!
Oh, hello! Side by side
Side
here.
by si- And Bradshaw's gotten ahead of Darius.
Hello.
Hello. Race is spiced up a bit. Will it continue to be spicy? We'll find out after the ad break. No, I'm not going to put an ad break in. That would be a bit mean. Although, should we put ad breaks in to make that money?
We don't have anything to advertise.
No.
Oh, Sam Hussein's retired at the final corner.
He's binned it. Is that going to bring out
Safety
the
car.
safety car? It is.
Hello.
Hello.
This is interesting,
Soft or
mate.
mediums will stay out.
I don't know.
Michael
Okay,
will
so
be mediums.
let's go. So, turn 1 is Tarzan.
Bradshaw
The right-
only Leipzig boxes out of the leaders. And Ennis has a drive-through for speeding on the safety car. Kyle is in. I would go in.
So,
I would go in if I was David. Which he does. And he sped into the pit lane.
are you good at pronouncing stuff?
I can give it a go.
Okay, actually, no, I'll just tell you the turns. So, turn 1, Tarzan.
Yeah.
This right-hander here, the little right, is Gerlach. Then into the rain turn, which is
Why is Leipzig gone for soft?
Hugenholtz. He's gone for softs. Ooh. Then you've got Hunzerug, which is the little right kink on the run up to the one Shivlak. Shrivlak, yeah.
That's
Then
the only
it's
corner name that
into
Yana Opnir knows.
then it's into Master's Corner after that. Then turn 9, then turn 10 as they're promptly named.
Oh.
Then at the end of this DRS straight, you got Hans Ernst, which is this whole little bit round here. Then the final 2 corners, you've got Kumho, and I'm not even pronouncing that last one. Ari Leuendijk. I thought it was just a mess of letters. It's not.
So Lepage is in the same position he was before the safety car, but it's on brand new softs, which will be fast. And then they'll wear very quickly. Oof. I'm gonna guess the wear rate to be about 6%, but it's Lepage, so it might be 5%. As it seems
Hugo told me not to drink Slapage.
As I think David is back into the pits because he won't lose any positions, but he can get rid of that penalty. And I think he's going to be forced onto softs because he's
also getting a new front wing.
I think he binned his wing in the pit.
Will he make it out ahead of Marcus Carlos?
It's going to be tight. Maybe not with the front wing change, and he might also lose out to Lucas Vard.
Yeah, he's going to. Maybe even Lara. No, not Larry. What am I saying?
It's going to be tight. It might be a bit like Russell and Verstappen, if you remember. It is going to be like Russell and Verstappen.
Larry gets it.
Yeah, I think Larry was just ahead at safety car line 2.
Softs are dying after 5 or 6 laps. We've got intel from the chat. So,
Lepage probably says no.
His tyre wear, which is always
a bit sus.
Yeah. Except for the fact that his driving is not sus, it's just...
Maybe he just cranks up the pressures or something. Or maybe he's just slow, so he's not putting much load on the tyres.
I guess, I don't know.
What I noticed that if I push a bit harder into the corner entry and put on a bit more steering lock, I gain like a few tenths a lap, but my tyres wear decently quicker if I do that. But I can only do that after like 20 or 30 laps of warm-up, so only at the end of the race. Well, at the end of a hard stint, use up the tyres. This is going to be interesting, the restart, because Bradshaw will be on cold hards, and he's got a lot of drag. And Ennis is in the pits. Is that for wing swap or something? Or penalty elimination? No, it's just for softs. I guess it's only 8 laps that they'll be doing, which the softs will do. They will do 8 laps, not too bad. I'll go on the onboard cams to see what their tyre temps are like. Lepage is in the mid-70s. Darius is also in the they're all in the mid-70s. Stop weaving. Kyle's in the low 80s. Marcus Carlos is at 80 exactly, basically. Bud is also at about 80. Maybe a bit more. Lowry is also a bit above 80. Apparently, Jeff got the fastest lap on the safety car. Which I mean is possible if you're not stuck behind the safety car and you're on new tyres. However, he is a lap down.
Here we go then.
Ennis isn't that far off the lead, and have Darius and Bradshaw made a big blunder by staying out on hards? Because if they boxed, they wouldn't have lost any positions.
Let's see how this goes then. As Bradshaw's going to go early, as the safety car is in the pit lane, and he's got a great restart there. And Lepage is right on the back of Darius here. He's got Carl Mack even closer. Carl's looking for a move, but and Lepage is also potentially looking for a move. He's going to think of turn 1, but then Carl's going to sort of block him in here, and that's going to allow the Alfa Romeo to move up into the podium places, and that's going to help his teammate out massively. He's had a bit of a wobble, and now Kyle moves up into second as
Were there
he's
any
trying to
team
make a
orders
move.
involved in the swap? That is the question.
Potentially. Potentially could
And
have
now,
been tactical,
and now
actually.
has he been instructed to hold up Leipage? I'm not sure if they're in communication, but Leipage is seeming to have some bad internet now, so that might hinder his progress.
Yeah.
However, Kyle will now set chase to Bradshaw, who is on much older and much harder tyres, which will be much worse for the remainder of the race. And they're both on fairly equal battery, but we know Bradshaw's running high wings, which is one of the reasons he was so quick in the wet. But that will also cost him in the straights. As right now on the exit he was 1.3 seconds ahead, but that's now coming down to 1.1, 1.0 now. And now even down to 0.9 he has been able to set the fastest lap. But both of them have dumped almost all of their batteries. And Leipage right now is just stuck behind Darius, who's doing a great job for Carl as blocker. And now he doesn't think about going around the outside.
Oh my Ennis. I've just seen the absolute dive of a lifetime from him.
Seems to have worked.
It has worked.
Now we'll be going after Lowry and David. Also David. He's gained one position since the restart.
His next target's Marcus Carlos.
And if I'm being completely honest, the hards of the two former leaders have not been as dreadful as expected. Although they probably won't be great by the end if they go above 60. But the softs, especially on some of the cars, will go off.
Oh! Spinned it! And that's going to give Bradshaw a big lead, but it's a safety car.
Who will be in? Is anyone in? Ennis.
Mike. Yes.
And also, does Bradshaw get out ahead of the safety car? No, he does not. So, he does. I think he might have intentionally slowed so that no one would have the opportunity to box.
So Filip Pavic is going to get points here.
He is! As long as he makes it to 90% race distance, which is 32.6 laps. How do we deal with the 0.6? I guess someone will have to manually work that out if someone bins it in the middle of lap 33.
Yeah.
Which is when you've completed 32 point something laps. Ennis has not lost much position by boxing for new tyres, and he'll have the warmest tyres at the restart. As
him and... Oh, he has a drive-through.
Oh. Did he not serve it under the... Oh yeah, he got a penalty for speeding under safety car, and if he hasn't served it, and he can't serve it under safety car, he needs to serve it when the safety car comes in, otherwise he'll get disqualified for being a noob and speeding.
So, the safety car will be eventually in.
I think this was the first lap under the safety car.
Might be in next lap. Actually, yeah, I think it will be.
Maybe Ennis tried to box to serve his penalty.
I was thinking about going in again, but he realises that's, yeah, not possible. As Phillips now up into 10th.
And Leipage on his still quite old tyres. He's going to probably have another go at it, but...
Who do we think's going to win this one?
I don't know.
Get your predictions in the chat, actually. Who's going to win from this position?
There's who I think is going to win.
Who's yours?
Bradshaw. I don't think Darius will be able to get past.
I guess we're boring. We've both gone for the same option.
And Lapage, he couldn't get it done when he had new tyres. He's now got old tyres. I don't think he's going to be able to do it.
I think Lucas Root would have more of a chance at this point, or Rudd, or I don't know how to pronounce it. Someone please help.
The guy in the Williams.
The guy in the Williams.
Will this please be in this lap safety car? I've had enough safety car.
We've had enough. I think so. Adam Bradshaw is lagging a lot.
Yeah.
So
a bit of lag might be the only thing stopping him from winning the race.
We've got a 200 IQ prediction that someone in the top 10 will win.
Wow.
And also for...
Well, you made the assumption that someone will win. If they all bin it right now, no one is winning it.
They're 90% race distance.
Yeah, I think they'll reach it on this lap.
Let's
so...
put it now.
No, they need to make it 60%
They've
of the way
completed
around.
32.
They've completed 32 of the 32.6, so now they need to do the 0.6, and then they're classified.
But 90% of 36 is 32. Carl Max this can he's at the race. I forgot. I was like, oh no.
Was it 32.4?
And then I realised he was there.
So it might be 32.4% distance. I should get my calculator out, because maths on stream is not a good idea.
36 divided by 100.
That.
Is it? 32 out of 36 times 100. Is that 90?
Imagine doing math on stream.
Alright, you're actually getting me to get a calculator as well. I got my phone, so yeah.
We've had a 3-lap safety car, which has been kind of boring, and it will be in this lap. And Mike Averton is the lead driver who does not have a drive-through and is on new softs. Is actually the only driver who is on new softs, does not have a drive-through and is on the lead lap.
Yeah.
So it could be a good result for him. However, overtaking is quite difficult at Zandvoort. So
the front three is like the lag fest.
Yeah. We'll see whether they can lag each other into... I don't know what. I honestly don't know what. But whether Lapage and Darius with their wings...
Bradshaw's going. And he hasn't really caught Zolf. Zolf's going with him, but he has almost slid out of the race there. He went onto the grass.
However, we know Bradshaw's running higher wings, so this could be a contest into turn 1, although...
Ennis has been disqualified.
He didn't box. Deserved for not knowing the intricacies of the game.
That was close.
However, Lapage is now piling pressure into the back of Darius. So, oh, that was a bit late, but that might be investigated by the stewards later, although it didn't seem too bad from my point of view.
Oh, Lowry sent that on David Hoy. And I don't know how you make a move there, but fair play to Lowry, because he's made a move there.
And Mike Averton's had a poor restart. As Cameron has said that...
Lapage! That's not the line you want to take. Sorry for cutting you off.
As Cameron has said in the chat, that 32 out of 36 is 88.9%. What is that lag?
I was going to say, I was like, what has just happened there?
There might be a few internet warnings in this race. So right now, Lapage is switching on the battery to try and get past Darius, as Bradshaw on 20-lap-old tyres is set. And Lapage goes down the inside into Tarzan.
And David Hoy's also
and
gone down the inside. And he's fun. And Lapage is gone. What is going on? Lapage just spun out here on lap 35 as now Lucas Rude's going to be charging after Zolf.
He's gonna get 2 points.
Just saying, based on the incident with Adam Bradshaw and Kyle Mack, could Lucas be on to win this race if that was to be a penalty? I don't know if... Oh, Darius! Darius has gone rained and then Lucas Reed's up to second. Marcus Carlos is on the podium and Mike Averton's
What?
fourth.
What? What is this race? And there's still one lap to go.
Surely no one else is going to bin it. I am so confused. What is happening here? We're down to 8 drivers. And out of all of this, Philip's going to get like 4 or 5 points here, depending did he get the fastest lap.
Yeah.
Did he?
I can actually
Gah.
check.
No, he didn't. He's 3 temps off.
Oh.
But yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, this has been an interesting... Oh, he has got the fastest lap.
So that's 5 points just for keeping it out of a wall.
Yeah. Even if he bins it in a wall now, he'll still score 5 points.
And there's still a chance for more people too, as Lowry is closed in on Mike, who's used all of his battery, and Lowry also has.
I think if anyone bins it, because he's a lap down, he won't be able to get past them. And it's the final lap fight now.
Yep. As we've got
has left after binning it.
half a lap left to go. There's someone else rained. That's Zolf into the barriers, and a Hassoff as well, David. And Pavic is also rained.
It's a lot of spins.
Bradshaw now come in, rain the final corner, and he's kept it on the track, which means he's going to win the race here at Zandvoort after 36 laps of I don't even know what the hell I've just watched. Lucas comes across the line in second, which seemed unlikely for him a few laps ago. Marcus Carlos third, Mike Averton fourth, Lowry in fifth. Darius is going to finish P6, as Pavic didn't make it to the line. And David Hoy takes the P6, but after penalties and review of the penalties, I don't know if it'll be P6. We'll have to see. Or there could be more for the contacts, I don't even know.
Yeah. I think my steward's office will be a bit busier than it's been over the past few weeks.
a bit. It
Yeah.
might be an understatement.
I don't think it will be F2, where there's been like races with 15 reports and 1 position change after the reports.
From 13th and 15th on the grid, Marcus Carlos and Mike Averton have gotten 3rd and 4th.
Do you want to invite people for interviews?
Yeah, invite the top 3. We'll do that standard. This stream's already got like 115 views. Nice.
Nice.
Thank you to all 115 of you who have chilled
There's
in.
only 12 watching right now.
That was mental. That last safety car was
A bit crazy.
a bit crazy, might be an understatement. So do you want me to ping the top 3 then?
Yes, I would.
Bradshaw, Rudd. We'll see if anyone wants to come talk to us. Hopefully they do.
Bradshaw's agreed. Now we need to get him in this commentator's booth thing in Discord.
Yeah.
Guy needs to join a voice chat. And then we're good.
Alright, and Marcus does as well. So top three. I'll drag people in, then I'll be right back, okay? So
Okay.
I'll jump back in at the end of the interview. Once someone joins a VC, and
I don't think I need to be in the same VC to move them.
I don't even know if you have permission to move people. Can just join talking one. There's Adam
Oh,
Bradshaw.
I don't have permissions to move people.
You get.
Hello.
Hello. Well done on the race win.
Thank you. I'm stoked.
That was a very strong qualifying, but then not the best start to the race.
No, I had a bit of a bad reaction and just lost a lot of places.
I think
And then
you were down to like P5 or P6 by turn 1, and it wasn't
yes,
a particularly long run.
no, I had a really bad start, and something I have to improve, I think.
I think it's just an inherent problem with traction control in the wet. Like, I've seen people, whatever you do, if you turn on the battery or whatever, it's in the wet specifically, it's slower than a human.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, the wet weather is never fun.
Yeah, but in your setup seems to be working quite well in the corners.
Yeah, I had a higher downforce, I think, than a lot
Yeah,
of people.
you could see that on the straights. And then when it dried up, was that on purpose, boxing one lap later for the hards?
No, so originally, because me and Ennis were in a chat actually, and it was Ennis who pitted for the hards, I think, as when the safety car came out, and I said it was too early because it hadn't dried up, and I think a lap later or something, it like stopped raining, and so I just kind of just I took the risk, and it
Well,
actually still hadn't dried up,
by
but the safety car stayed out long enough.
Yeah, by boxing a lap later, you actually gained a few positions because they were so slow on the cold, hard tyres that behind the safety car, you were going quicker than they were going.
Yeah.
So, ended up inadvertently being a good strategy. And then on the dry, you got past, I think it was Karl Mack who was leading.
I don't remember.
One of the Alfa Romeos. Was it?
It was the other one, I think.
Yeah, I think it might.
Zolf.
Yeah, it was Darius then. So you got past him, and then I think on both safety car restarts, I thought you were in trouble on the old hard tyres, but you made it work.
I was. Both times I restarted, my tires were on 74 degrees. I just couldn't warm them up, and so I relied on getting the jump, I think,
Yeah, I think.
to warm them up.
Yeah, and Darius was a pretty good blocker for you.
He was my buffer.
Yeah, and then Kyle, when he got past, unfortunately had a bit of a spin.
Yeah, brought out another safety car.
I think it was Lepage who brought out
Oh.
the safety car.
It was a tough one. I'm not a huge fan of Zandvoort, but good.
And I think now we'll move on to Lucas.
Yes,
Well done on P2.
thank you.
Another good result after P2 and Spa as well. So, you've got a good run of races. Do you think you can continue that into the next race, which I think is Italy?
Yeah, I can see it's Italy. I hope so. Right now it's going pretty well in the wets. I have a lot of speed in the wets, I think. And I could also see that when it changed the weather, I fell back in the order and just kept it clean and therefore made it to P2. But I think I was a lot faster in the wets.
Yeah, I've just remembered you were leading the first third of the
Yeah.
race.
Yeah, I was leading, and then I made a little mistake. I oversteered into turn 3, I think. And then the Haas overtook me, and there came a safety car, and there was this whole tire shifting.
Boxing or not boxing.
Yeah, and I planned to stay out, and that didn't work. So that
Yeah,
was
the
unfortunate,
track
but
dried out.
yeah,
But I think most people will be satisfied with 18 points. And now
Yeah,
we'll
of
move on
course.
to Marcus Carlos, who got P3. And again, another podium for you after Spa. Do you think you can keep this up for Italy?
Certainly hope so, to be honest. There was a little bit of luck involved today.
Yeah.
I wanted to pit like for the first to get off the inters initially, but I didn't. And then by the time we'd done a couple laps, it was clear. Even like the Jeff said, "Oh, changed. We think we should change tyres." But I thought, "Oh, there's no point me stopping now. I may as well just do one more lap, see if I can maybe gain a position. Then I'll have to pit and lose all that time." But fortunately, there was another safety car which blessed me and gave me a chance to catch up. But similar to Rudd, I just tried to stay out of the way, just keep it clean, get no warnings, and
Seems to be a
thankfully
good
it helped in it all
strategy.
for me. Yeah, I was quite happy with that, to be honest with you. It was a tough one. It was definitely difficult.
Yeah. So I think we will end the interviews here unless there's anything else that you want to say.
No, just congratulations to the rest of the lads.
Okay, so is it Imola or Monza next? Monza. And it's a sprint race.
My
Interesting.
favourites.
So I guess we will see you next week. Or actually, no. Tune in tomorrow and the day after tomorrow for Tier 2 and Tier 1 at Zandvoort. And then next week at the same time, we'll have Tier 3 at Monza Sprint. Bye-bye and see you